Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. We are back together with the FP2 interviews. We are going to listen Christian Horner. Let's listen to him.
Deal with the session first, because lots of juicy stuff to talk about. But he was complaining about problems on the front axle. What was going on with Max's car?
Yeah, I think that the front axle of the car is just not, it's not working for him. So he just feels solid. So a bit of work to do there. It's not as bad as it looks, but there's quite a lot of performance to be found in getting the front of the car to respond.
You guys do an incredible job of being off, but then all of a sudden being right back on it. Can you explain to us what's happening from this point right now, or at least even minutes into the session when drivers are reporting issues? What's the process that you guys have that's able to execute a correction so well?
Well, now there'll be a huge amount of data that's transformed back to the UK. It'll be run on the simulator. The test driver will be on the sim, working hard this weekend, trying different setups. And then the reports will come back, and the race engineers will then decide with the drivers what they want to adopt on the car for tomorrow. So we know where the issues are. We know what we need to focus on. Now the trick is to find a solution.
So in that case, then what can you expect? If these issues are resolved, what do you think the potential is this weekend?
McLaren will quick in that session. Some people turn engines up, some people don't. We know there's a bit of performance still to come on that side from us. So, we've got a bit to tidy up, setup-wise, to get the car in a happier place.
Bit of a war of words, I think it'd be fair to say, between the quadruple world champion and George Russell coming into the weekend. You called George hysterical, then Toto came in and said, "You're a yapping little terrier, you're a yapping little terrier." Christian, is that your
there's nothing the matter with terriers, Simon, as you well know. I've had 4 of them, and I think there's terriers have got a lot about them. Very loyal, have a go at anyone, and they'll stand their ground. So stand up for the terriers.
Stand up for the terriers, but you're going up against the ferocious wolf there. So you love this. This is part. This is sports stuff, isn't it?
Time of year, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing. Toto got himself a bit wound up yesterday, but I think everybody just needs a good Christmas break. Time to relax and reset before what's going to be a very competitive next year.
It is. I just a quick one, Danica, though. But what's been levelled at what was coming out of it between the two of them? It's a bit of a he said situation at the moment. But Max is denying that he said coming out of the stewards that Max was going to, that he was going to put him into the wall on his head. Can you shed any light on that?
He's got no reason to lie. He's never lied before. He'll tell you straight. And of course, Max wasn't the only one in that steward room, and both the guys that were with him on our side came back, and they were a bit, wow, that was pretty punchy of how George approached that. So it's one of those things. I think the access that you guys get compared to any other sport, you put a camera in a changing room at a football match, I'm sure there'd be a bit of lively language there as well. But it is. We're just focused on going racing, finishing off the season, on a high note. George had a bit of a rant yesterday. He was ranting in the car last weekend at his team for putting the wrong tyres on and whatever else. He's obviously a bit wound up at the moment.
Do you think that George is feeling the pressure in some way for other drivers coming in? Obviously, there's lots of rumors out there. Do you think George is putting on a little bit of a show to sort of...
You just don't know, do you? I mean, George was having issues. The other driver was trying to retire the car. There's every team's got their own issues that they're dealing with. So, and I think Max responded in the best possible way by, the penalty was a bit unorthodox, but he converted it into a great start and strong win at the end of the day. And that's the best way to do your talking on the track.
Talk about just, you're saying that's getting to the end of the season. I mean, talk about these triple headers that have come up and, what's the state of the team? How are you feeling? Like, is everyone exhausted at this point in time? I think you even told me in Vegas that there was no celebration for you. You were leaving. So how grueling is it at this point in time? There's more races than there's ever been.
Look, this has been the biggest season in Formula One history. 24 races, a triple header at the end, going from Las Vegas with a time difference and then to come to Qatar. Looking at the guys and girls in the garage, they're feeling it. It's a long, tough year, and that's Formula One these days. But it's pretty grueling, and of course it's not a long off season now. It's Christmas before you know it, and then straight back in January.
We saw Isaac Hadjar getting into to Max's car for that opening practice session. What is the lowdown on him and what might be going on within the entire Red Bull RB, Racing Bulls, whatever you call it?
Look,
family?
I mean, he's a product of the junior team. He's fighting for the Formula 2 championship this weekend. There's half a point between him and Bortoleto, who's going to Sauber. So, it's a big weekend for him. It was very important not to put a mark on the car. He did a good job. He gave some reasonable feedback in that session.
He seemed quite stressed at sometimes over the radio.
I think that's his character. I think he's quite, he's quite an emotive communicator. He's one of the junior programs. So depending on movements, he would be next in line to get an opportunity.
Just a quick one to finish with, just going back to what we're talking about. Do you think with George and Max and what's going on at the moment, was it the thing that Max took the hardest, the fact that George levelled a bullying accusation at him? And it is really a bullying accusation at him, and it's about time someone stood up to him. Is that something? I mean, Martin was saying a little bit earlier that he feels that Max gets free rein sometimes and he can push people around. Is that something you actively encourage?
Rather than doing it through the media, or through you guys or whatever, just go and have a conversation. Talk about it man to man, face to face. If you've got something to say it. And rather than he said, she said, far better to address it that way. And I think, they've raced each other since they were kids. They know each other a lot, as these drivers, many of them do. And I think many situations are often dealt with better,
on the paddle court.
On the paddle court, as you say.
I mean, you say that, but how well are drivers really supposed to get along anyway? There's a lot of talk about.
She knows she's quite.
I think it's very difficult. I mean, I don't know how you found in your career, but to be best,
a lot of people made me mad.
Be best mates with your competitor.
Yeah.
It's a very unnatural thing. You're trying to beat the hell out of each other on track. There's so much at stake, and then of course it's competitive, and it would, sometimes I think to put on a false pretense that it's all chummy. It can't be like that. That's sport,
I've always found that it's like you can have a conversation and you can become cordial, but you never forget. And when you're racing against each other, it's not about making friends. And
I tell you what, Max is like an
competition
elephant.
at the expense, to be honest.
And he never forgets.
Well, you had to deal with it with Seb and Mark for years as well. So
now they love each other. Now they're both retired. Their besties. Maybe that'll happen when with George or Max sometime.
Who knows? Thank you, Christian, for coming and talking to us. I really appreciate
A lot of information from Christian Horner. A lot of talks, a lot of rumors. I think just media made this fight, let's say, between Max Verstappen and George Russell. Horner is saying that Max never lies. Russell said, Max Verstappen was saying to him, like, I will put your head into the wall. Toto said, I don't know what, to the Horner. Also, we will have a video of what Horner responded to the Wolf. Like, I don't like to much comment about these topics. Just we know that on FP2 in front axle they had a problem with the Max Verstappen's car. They're trying something, but we will never know that what they're trying. But we will see, let's say, at the FP3, or maybe in a qualifying, maybe we will see mega performance from Max Verstappen. Just don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel.